Greater Tonj is an area approximately about 10,000 square miles. The population of Greater Tonj is 367,936 people per 2008 population census. The result of 2008 census indicated that there are 164,222 people in Tonj North, Tonj East with 116,122 people, and Tonj South with 86,592 people. It is bordered by Western Bahr Ghazal Wow to the west, Western Equatorial State to the southwest, Gogrial East to the north, Unity State North to the east, and Lakes State to the south. Greater Tonj comprises of 3 counties of Tonj North with 13 payams, Tonj East with 11 payams, and Tonj South with 7 payams. The area has been experiencing persistent violence related to cattle theft, rebellion, and border disputes. The idea to hold a Greater Tonj Community Peace Conference was initiated by Governor Alewa Yenya with the intention to forge common understanding among the communities that are engulfed into natural catastrophes and man-made problems such as insecurity caused by firearms and its proliferation, water scarcity, cattle theft, inter-border disputes, and girls' elopement that often inflict massive inter-community conflicts. The government of Arab State, with support from UN partners, convenes a 5-day Tonj Community Peace Conference attended by over 3,000 delegates drawn from 6 counties of Arab State and neighboring states in Bahr el Ghazal region. The conference, which ran concurrently from April 5th to April 9th, 2022, was graced by the Presidential Press Secretary Atany Wegatany in presence of other top government dignitaries who deliberatively shed light on key issues pertaining unity of Tonj people. The delegates discussed root causes of the recent intercommunal violence and suggest mechanisms to formally address end to the violence. The 3rd and 4th day deliberation focused on the matters that spoil and tear apart the unity of the society. The delegate unanimously brainstormed on the possible mechanisms to put to an end what they call senseless violence that resulted in the killing of vulnerable persons such as women, children, and government officials during intercommunal violence. The following reasons were attributed to the imminent root causes of intercommunal violence in Greater Tonj counties. The prevalence of small arms in the hands of civil population proliferated by military officers, land and intercommunal boundary disputes, weak judiciary system creating legal vacuum, breaking down of sexual structure, leaving chiefs disempowered, cattle rustling, misinformation and hate speeches, insulting songs and stereotypes attached to sections, families and communities, weak law enforcement, retaliatory attacks, poverty, illiteracy and unfair distribution of resources, girls' elopement, weak local government structure, roads ambushes, armed gangs that often looted and destruction of property, high presence of black magic among young people. Those were the identified root causes of intercommunal violence. On the 5th day, the delegates agreed to sign declaration document to end further bloodshed and demonstrated unwavering support to the principles to hold peace and stability in their localities. The signing ceremony was witnessed by the Vice President for Services Delivery Cluster, Hussein Adalbagi Akol, National Minister of Investment, Dr. Dio Mathong Ding, and Governor of Northern Baral Ghazal State, Tong Aken Ngor. The delegates resolved and demanded that national government to declare a state of emergency in Tonj areas to allow government to exercise special powers with the intention of preserving peace and security of the people. Continue implementation of the measures contained in the Green Book to curb rising insecurity across Tonj in accordance with the state of emergency and the law. Disarmament of civilians across Greater Tonj and immediate deployment of armed forces along the bordering areas of Lakes, Western Baral Ghazal, and Unity States, respectively. Establishment of justice system, identification and immediate arrest of criminals, return of looted and stolen property to the rightful owners, facilitate compensation of victims, banning of insulting songs and other forms of provocation that fuel conflicts, investigation of road ambushes and arrest culprits, individual responsibility of crimes committed, each criminal to carry his or her own cross, formation of peace monitoring committees, provision of basic humanitarian assistance for returnees and IDPs in areas affected by the conflicts, free movement of people, sharing of water funds and other natural resources, goods and services across Greater Tonj. Forces deployed implicated in the community conflict in Greater Tonj must be withdrawn and redeployed. Government to renovate, rehabilitate health and education facilities destroyed during conflict in Greater Tonj, provide specialized support to victims of gender-based violence.
We have come up with resolutions. The final touches are going to be done while we want to say thank you very much. And we are giving this opportunity for him to tell people of Tonj in particular what was being discussed here.
With all the three counties converging on Tonj in order to deliberate on the root causes of what has led into the infight. This peace is going to hold, and this peace is going to be a very, very successful, and I wish them a very successful end.
Ya jama te unier we Tonj ka we ya doji bay we ga che kod bay ki mal ka ya kon bay ko chen ya jama pan yoka wan kun di da re ko ki ka rai e mu re we ge ya ka le Tonj ju we bu chen kin a wo di te da bay o ji dong da bi we kon bu we ga kwa ndo idel me na bu na wabui del we na chonga bandi wabla te wabya tek tu lo ga kudun chata na li ba kwa ni ga ba kwa na cha ga ki koka ben chol to koka tin go nyanga pinge fade te chuwe ga man pandun achinan de ya do ko chin tum panden ya ga ba ga ru na chol ya we a ko teno en kan pandun ra ka te wori empot we aka mi Tonj di we ga che tong Tonj ya ka min to ya dil ka tong am ka ja ko
Other long-term solutions include the call on state government to strengthen local government structures and facilitate them to provide effective governance and administration at the Boma, Fayam and county level, improve physical infrastructure such as roads, bridges, schools, health centers, police centers, correctional facilities, Fayam and Boma headquarters, and communication network across Greater Tonj. Promote industrialized activities such as microfinance, vocational schools, and agro-business activities in order to reduce youth redundancy. Facilitate digging water reservoirs to provide alternative sources of water for animals and people. Provision of induction and training Galwang as auxiliary police with paid salaries in order to supplement the police services in enforcing law and order. Civil society or NGOs to promote social cohesion and peace through dialogue, meetings in all Fayams, Bomas and counties. State authorities and development partners to provide technical and material support to farmers to engage in productive agricultural activities through provision of modern farming equipment and training of farmers.